All right, guys, 1 month after Hurricane Helene, we're gonna go camping up in the Big Bend area of Florida. It was hit pretty hard. We're going about 30 miles north of Cedar Key. I'm sure you've seen the images on the news all over when Helene was happening and afterwards. And we're gonna check out Manatee Springs State Park and see just how bad it is a month after Hurricane Helene. Let's head out. Now our site is much smaller. We had to park the truck sideways. We can't get up close to the water and the electric, so I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. And it is just all this dark dirt. So the water and the electric is all the way over there. They have this fence in front of it, and then the weird post with concrete, all the way over. I don't understand that. So it's just tiny. The picnic table is right next to the fire pit. It's just a very small site. And because of the setup with the awning and then the shower tent on the other side, you know, we need a normal area to open up. And unfortunately, I don't know, it's just bizarre how they have it set up. I'm very perplexed by the post taking up a third of the site. That's just very bizarre. So even their tent sites are very, very tiny. And then that's another one, small site. Our neighbor, oh my goodness, she's so sweet. She came by. We've seen her constantly. Since she's been here the same time we have been, and we've seen her constantly at Walmart, and we're always like, hey neighbor. So last night it was so cute. She came over and she just sat with us for a couple of hours. We all chit-chatted, you know, just talked about life, talked about camping, and exchanged information. And we had told her, you know, we wanted to make that trek up, you know, the East Coast and do the lighthouse tour and, you know, all of that. And she's like, man, I totally want to do that next year with you guys, you know, so I don't have to go alone. So that was really cool to actually, you know, get to know the person next to us and just hang out. But yeah, I mean, I'm not quite sure, I don't know how you'd fit an actual trailer in here, because the post is right there, the sewer, the water, you'd be right butted up next to your fire pit and your picnic table. It's just really bizarre. And the dirt is so bad. So bad. It is this dark dirt. We ended up, you know, normally I'm in Crocs or my Birkenstocks, but we've had to switch to the Hey Dudes because your feet are just filthy just walking around. Alright, so we're going to check out the bathroom. Now, it is bizarre here because there's 2 loops for Magnolia, only 1 bathroom. So the people on the far other side, they have to come all the way here for the bathroom. It's weird. Haven't seen a state park like that yet, but let's check out the bathrooms. They are nice and roomy. They've got 2 huge fans as well to keep the humidity down. And the showers are nice and clean. They haven't come yet this morning, but it is definitely one of the cleaner ones that I have seen. So they have 3 showers total, and they all have benches to put your stuff. Same design on the second one. Now, they got some rickety old hand dryers, and then that one's new. 3 sinks. They have 3 normal sized bathrooms, and then your big handicapped one, but same thing. I mean, I'm not understanding why they're updating it. Look at the toilet seat. It's coming apart. I don't know, call me crazy, but I think they could actually invest in like these small upgrades. Now, like I said before, it does suck there's no laundry facilities here. And one of the other things, besides the small campsites, that we were kind of surprised with, there was a lot of damage after Helene. There's a lot of trees down in campsites, but I'm going to show you. So there's several areas through the park that this is an issue, and I'm going to actually show you what I'm talking about because it is really dangerous. And I'm really surprised that they have left it like this and they didn't just keep the park closed and clean up before somebody gets hurt, because this is a disaster waiting to happen. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So you've got the walkways through. Okay, you see this tree right here? We're gonna pan in. It is actually uprooted from the ground and it is just hanging over this campsite right there. Now there are people camping there. There's people camping there. That is so dangerous. And it's just left. They put like, let me show you. They put like the little yellow caution tape, like that's supposed to do something. I don't know. I mean, I'm very, very surprised. And there's a lot of it. Like, there's a lot of really big trees down. We're gonna hop on the bike and I'm gonna show you some of the areas I'm talking about, because it was kind of surprising when we came in here and very disappointing. All right, so let's go check out the areas I'm talking about with the trees down, and then I'm also going to show you some of these other sites, like the difference. These are the smallest sites I've ever seen in a state park. All right, let's go check out the crazy amounts of trees that have fallen down that are just like stacked behind some of the campsites. This is gonna be hard one-handed. Morning. Oh. Morning. What is literally behind the camper? All of this in the middle. Morning. All behind there. And they're just like falling down. They haven't taken anything out. These sites are all so itty bitty. And these are small campers, and what's crazy is ours, you know, said it could fit a much bigger rig, and so that's what I always look for, because if we're close and we're bringing the truck too, look at that one. That's crazy. Let's go check this one out. I mean, first, look how tiny this site is, but secondly, look at all the trees that are just cut and left, like right at the sites. And this is the one next door, which is weird that you share, I don't know, this is a walk-in tent. I mean, that's just crazy to me. And there's so many, like that one right there that's just snapped and waiting to fall. That one just snapped in half. Same with that one. So, you know, makes you a little bit nervous because we do get, you know, normal thunderstorms with crazy wind, and makes you wonder if all of these trees are just gonna come down on somebody who's camping here. And again, I just don't understand like why they would not keep the park closed. I get it, you know, they want to make money, but at what expense? I mean, it just seems very dangerous to have the park open with so many trees that are cracked and uprooted and are ready to fall and have not been taken down. There's another one where they're just fallen and cut behind. Okay, so we're going to go up and check out the best part about this campground. Now, I will say, you know, you don't have to camp here to enjoy Manatee Springs. There's a lot to do for day use, and yeah, I would just say that, I don't know, I think it would just be better to come for the day, enjoy the spring, enjoy the picnic areas, go for a paddle, and then go. I don't think that, you know, this area is worth it. Check out this. It's like the whole line going down is like that, just tons of trees down and just collected. Now, when you do come in for the day use area, it's got a large parking lot. During the summertime, obviously, it's going to get packed, but this is the best time of year to come because it is slow. You don't have an issue getting in the water. It's not going to be overpacked, and it is still so enjoyable to jump in that cold spring. I'm going to show you that area right now. That's just crazy how many trees are down. We definitely were not expecting that when we came. It is still beautiful though. Now, their kayak launch area is actually really nice. They've got parking right next to where you launch. So you are able to park right here. There's 2 spots for drop-offs. And then your area to launch is just right there. So we're gonna check that out really quick. They have like a little amphitheater deal. So you don't have to walk far to be able to launch your board. Okay. Does not say what price is, but I'm not sure. They've got, this boardwalk is still open, so you can see the really cool swamp area. Man, that tree took a beating. That just snapped in half. The other side of the main boardwalk is still closed. There's trees down all over it, but this one is still open, and it's absolutely beautiful. I mean, this nature is just gorgeous. Now, the Gulf is still pretty warm. There's another system brewing down there, so you don't really see the manatees coming in yet. In this area, we haven't seen any in the 3 days that we've been here, but they should be coming back up here soon. So when you come into the main area right here where the kayaks is, they've got racks right there for bikes, and their launch area is pretty nice. It's sand, so it's not going to kill your feet when you come in. It's a very easy get in and out. And then this is what connects with the Suwannee River, and Manatee Springs is right there. There's also spots to put your boards. Morning. They do have restrooms here. They also have the concession area. Now the spring itself, Manatee Springs, has 3 swim entrances along the spring. And we're going to check out the best one. So when you come into the park, if you go around the corner, there's one entrance. Here's the second entrance. And the third entrance is at the other side. Now I will tell you, these grates, they are hard on the feet. Now this area right here, and you'll see in another video, it's like a cave that goes underneath. It's absolutely amazing. So the last 2 days when we've been here, late afternoon around 4 o'clock, there's been a juvenile gator that comes in and he goes back to the cypress back here. He's the only one that we've seen though. We haven't seen, snakes are pretty common in this area. We haven't seen any yet. But there's plenty of places around in the main park with picnic tables. And then you have, you know, several pavilions. You've got the big play area for kids, another pavilion in the back, and just lots of areas to sit and relax. They also have bike racks right here as well. So the bathroom here, you know, it's mixed, men and women. Not the greatest, but it serves its purpose. So yeah, that's also kind of surprising. I would think that they would have more bathrooms for a park this size, especially when they have so many day use people, but it's just that one. I will also say the concession stand, their prices are crazy. Crazy. We got 2 bottles of water the other day, and I think Gary said he paid like $8 for like 2 small bottles of Dasani. So it wasn't even like great water. So just remember to bring your stuff when you come with you. Now we're gonna go across the way to where the cave entrance is. Now you have to be certified as a cave diver to come here and dive, but they have insane cave diving here. So we're gonna go across the way and go to where that entrance is. So because of the caves here, there is no free diving allowed, and there's no swimming allowed. So this is, I'll be honest, I think the people that dive here are insane. There's been several deaths already because the caves are deep and they're narrow, and I don't know, I guess they're looking for like crazy adrenaline rushes, but that would not be me looking to, you know, to dive in small areas. But this area, you have to register, you have to be certified a certain level for cave diving to be able to come here. And during the day, typically you will see divers all the time. So you're not allowed to go in this area at all. You're not allowed to swim unless you are certified to cave dive and you have your tank and everything else with you. Now, all of these trails down here are shut down because of trees down. So that also is kind of a bummer. You know, you'd be able to hike and go on the boardwalk, but those are all closed right now. And they don't have like a date of, you know, when it's going to be open again. So you will see for, you know, diving, they're going to have these listed. So it's going to show you the phone numbers to call. And then if you have to call 911, it actually gives you the address as well. So overall, the park itself for Manatee Springs is definitely worth coming to visit. Now, it's not going to be the clarity of the water that's at like Rainbow or Fanning, you know, some of these other areas, but it still is a beautiful spring. The water is so refreshing, and to make a day of it, yeah, I would highly suggest it. Okay, so we're gonna get into some of the worst reviews on Google Maps, and I'm gonna answer them and say if this happened as well to us. Okay, so as promised, we're gonna go over some of these crazy reviews. And let me tell you, some of these are hysterical. I really wish they would have been true. So the first one is 4 stars from Scott Jeffrey Pearson, and he says, Bigfoot country, very scary. It's a very scary place, but beautiful at the same time. Stay on the trails. Do not leave the trails under any circumstances. You have been warned. Oh, I hate to say it, but no, we haven't seen Bigfoot. I mean, I wish I could say we have, but that one, it doesn't seem to hold true. The next one is from Morgan Halford. She gives it 3 stars out of 5. She says restrooms, poor security, and especially lighting at night, dangerous dark areas on trails to restrooms. She's asking for them to add some security, maybe a guard on patrol at night, or security cameras recording who's out and about walking in the dark. Okay, I partially agree with this one. Yes, it is extremely dark. And I talked about this in a previous video, that the lights are motion censored in the bathroom, and I have gone in there and those lights do not turn on. So if you have a flashlight, you're fine, but you're camping, you know, in Florida. It's dark out here. It's just not realistic. Why would any state park put a security guard to escort people to the bathroom at night? Like, if you're seriously that freaked out, don't go camping. The next one comes from MJ Gilliam. She is 3 stars out of 5. She says, deer came in groups of 3 a day and sat with us. Wasp nests and bathhouse needed updated. I liked it due to wildlife, but pics are deceiving. Water was dirty, no manatees, no swimming snakes by the hundreds dropping from you. I will agree, the deer come up. I haven't seen any wasp nests, so thankfully, you know, they took care of that. And yeah, we haven't seen any snakes here either. It is an area where they typically have a lot of water snakes. We haven't seen any. This one is from Kathleen Brown, 3 stars out of 5. And I'm not going to read this whole long one, but it says there's no cell service, which if you like timeout from the internet, that's great. But calls get dropped and emergency calls cannot come in. That is true. Without the Starlink, yeah, there's no reception. I will also say with the Starlink, it comes and goes. There's times where we're uploading at 200 megabytes. There's other times where it's like 5. So hit and miss. We're close to the water. You get a lot of storm clouds brewing during the day, and that can actually really set it off. So I agree with Kathleen on that point. Yes, there is no cell reception. Okay, we've got 2 more. This one comes from Eberly Funches, 2 stars out of 5. She says there are too many homeless camps in this state park. Site 23 currently has 6 adults screaming and yelling at each other, and there's 6 barking dogs. Yeah, we drove through all the loops, like through the whole park. I don't know, we're not seeing any homeless people, so I'm gonna say this review is busted. You know, have not seen 6 barking dogs in one site either. The rules are you can have 2 pets per site, and there's a limit on adults too, or people. Most of them are 6 people as well. Haven't seen homeless abound in this state park, so that review is busted. And last but not least,
Vincent White gives this place 2 stars out of 5. It says, lovely to see the deer up close, but so many of them are covered in ticks and fleas, and we got infested and bitten to hell. There's no fishing and no canoeing. I would only go back in the winter. Yeah, we have to agree. The ticks are a real issue here. And I wish I would have seen Vincent White's Google review before we set up the week-long trip here. But alas. Thankfully, we have not had any ticks attached to us. They just keep enjoying time on our Starlink. And yeah, you can fish here. You just have to go out on the river. You can also go canoeing. You just have to bring your own canoe, or you can rent kayaks from the concession stand at the head spring. Okay. Now I will say, obviously, you know, we understand. We've been through Hurricane Helene, Hurricane Milton, so we get that there was a lot of damage. My biggest complaint is just the park should have been closed. I understand it is a massive project. I mean, you've seen how many trees. But again, it really should be closed until they can deal with the trees that are uprooted, that are snapped halfway across, you know, the damage to the bathroom. I mean, there's just stuff that's just dangerous, and they should either close off certain loops and maybe do it one time, you know, one loop at a time and get it cleared out and cleaned. Honestly, I don't know why they're not just chopping up the wood and making huge piles and doing free firewood for people who stay here. That would be the easiest solution, in my opinion, because it's already in the forest. You're not having to worry about, you know, bugs that aren't native to the area coming in. And instead of big burn piles like what they do in some other areas, just chop the wood and let people just go grab it, you know, and not have to worry about bringing firewood. That's my suggestion. Manatee Springs State Park. To camp here, I would have to say no. It was very disappointing, and I don't think we'll ever camp here again. We'll still visit maybe once in a while to come for a swim, but I don't think we'll camp here again. So, you know, take it, leave it. It's going to be up to what your preferences are. But for us, if we're paying for a site and we're not on like free BLM land or national forest, yeah, we kind of want, you know, a little bit bigger sites where we can fit comfortably and it's not so cramped with everything out. And definitely don't want to have the fear of ticks all over. And we don't want to worry about trees falling when we're either riding bikes or just in our campsite. And, you know, we just want to see that stuff is removed and picked up. And there's so much still that hasn't even been cut down. And that's just a real shame for a state park. So, my opinion, yeah, no, we probably would not stay here again. But let me know if you guys have stayed here before, if you're planning to anyway, and you think that it's your, you know, up your alley and you're not worried about some of the things that concern us. You know, that's the beauty of YouTube and reviews. Like everybody is gonna be different.